Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on one of the most spectacular and honestly kind of brutal transformations in modern manufacturing. We're going to follow the literal hero's journey of sand. We'll witness how it survives absolute extremes to become something you're probably looking at right this very second.
Seriously, take a look at the device in your hand. Is the smartphone screen you're touching right now actually just melted sand? No way, right? Well, actually, yes, it absolutely is. It's wild to think about. But everyday items, from the crystal clear windows in your home to your car's windshield to the screen you're staring at, all begin their life as humble grains of sand. But as you'll see, the journey from dirt to device is a really intense trial by fire.
Section 1. The magic under our feet.
Okay, let's dive into this. Let's introduce the protagonist of our story, the raw material itself. Now, you might be thinking, any old sand will do. But actually, scratch that. Ordinary beach sand is completely unusable for high-quality glass. It's just full of impurities and random minerals. What we absolutely need for that flawless, transparent finish is 99% pure silica sand. That extreme purity is literally the non-negotiable foundation for the glass we rely on every single day.
But getting that pure silica, it's an incredibly aggressive process. It literally starts with heavy dynamite explosions. In massive quarries, solid rocks are just violently blasted apart. Those broken boulders are then transported and ground down inside these huge industrial mills until they're transformed into a really fine, workable sand. So yeah, it's a super loud, destructive start to what will eventually become a very delicate final product.
Section 2. The ultimate purification process.
And this brilliantly illustrates just how demanding the process is, because even after grinding those rocks down, the sand still isn't ready. It has to go through this immense washing stage. Picture massive industrial washing machines handling a staggering 220 tons of sand every single hour through a really rigorous three-step purification process. Step 1. High-pressure water jets just blast away the surface dirt. Step 2. Powerful centrifugal force spins the sand to separate out any heavy metal particles. And Step 3, magnetic separators swoop in to remove the iron. Why so precise? Well, because even the tiniest microscopic speck of iron left behind could completely ruin the color and transparency of the final glass.
Right, so now that we have our pristine sand, we need the perfect chemical recipe to prep it for its ultimate trial by fire. We mix in sodium carbonate, which is absolutely crucial because it significantly lowers the sand's melting point. Then, calcium carbonate is added in to inject strength and durability into the final glass. And here's a pretty fascinating detail for you. If the factory wants to produce a beautiful blue glass, they simply drop in a specific compound called cobalt oxide. It's like a giant recipe and every single ingredient matters.
Section 3. Forged in extreme heat.
Now, what's really interesting about this is just how genuinely dangerous things get. The purified sand mixture is about to face its ultimate test inside a giant gas furnace, enduring an absolutely staggering temperature, 10,650 degrees Celsius. To put that immense number into perspective, that is significantly hotter than actual volcanic lava. I mean, inside these massive gas furnaces, the heat is blinding, chaotic, and completely transformative.
It's an extreme environment that demands intense respect. The human element here is just incredible. Workers operating near these furnaces have to wear heavy-duty Kevlar gloves and specialized fireproof suits literally just to survive the ambient heat. They oversee this grueling 24-hour melting process, waiting patiently for the granular sand to completely surrender to the heat and melt into a glowing red, liquid glass.
Section 4. Shaping and perfecting glass. So, once we have that liquid fire, raw, chaotic heat meets precise engineering. Before a single drop of glass is shaped, engineers use complex CAD software to design the exact, mathematically perfect molds. Then, you have to see how incredibly fast this happens on the double-blow production line. Step 1. Small, glowing drops of liquid glass are precisely dropped into the molds. Step 2. High-pressure air is immediately blown in from the top. And Step 3. In just a matter of seconds, a perfect, recognizable bottle or jar is formed. It's this incredibly rapid transformation from a dangerous liquid to a rigid shape. However, those new bottles are still glowing red hot, so robotic arms have to step in and carefully lift them onto the conveyor belt.
So the crucial point is, you can't just let boiling hot glass cool down in the open air. We have to use a vital process called annealing. The newly formed glass travels through a really long cooling tunnel. If the temperature were to drop too suddenly, the glass would suffer massive thermal shock and simply shatter, or even explode, right there on the line.
Slow, highly controlled cooling is really the only way to ensure the structural integrity of the final piece.
Okay, once fully cooled, we hit quality control and packaging, and the flawless precision required here is mind-blowing. High-speed cameras and optical sensors scan every single piece for the tiniest cracks, stains, or microscopic bubbles. Any defective unit is instantly rejected from the line. I mean, only 100% perfect bottles make it to the end, where massive robots with giant suction cups lift hundreds of them at once onto transport pallets. They even carefully place protective safety sheets between every single layer so nothing gets scratched. The whole shebang is perfectly orchestrated.
But wait, what happens to those rejected, defective pieces? Well, they feed right into a fantastic zero-waste system. Any broken shards or old glass are collected and completely recycled. They're just mixed right back in with the new batches of sand to be melted down again. This clever sustainability loop saves massive amounts of electricity and plays a huge role in protecting our environment. Literally, nothing is lost.
Section 5. Ancient Origins and Sustainability.
Let's move to this next part and see how this builds, because we've seen the cutting-edge modern factory floor. But the story of glass actually starts deep in human history and the natural world. Long before human industry even existed, nature was already manufacturing glass. When intense lightning strikes desert sand, or when volcanic lava cools rapidly under extreme pressure, it forms a natural glass called obsidian. Ancient humans actually used this naturally occurring glass to craft their first sharp weapons and jewelry. Fast forward to about 300 BC, so roughly 2,300 years ago, and ancient Egyptians made an incredible accidental discovery. By heating sand mixed with sodium carbonate near an open fire, they created the very first artificial, transparent glass. And that happy accident eventually evolved into the massive industrial production we completely rely on today.
Which brings us to a really powerful realization. Outside, glass looks simple. Inside, it holds dangerous heat, massive machines, and human sweat. The next time you take a sip from a water glass, or, tap your thumb on your smartphone screen, take a second to look at it with a newfound sense of awe. Think about the incredible journey that ordinary dirt took, surviving dynamite blasts, extreme purification, and punishing lava-level heat just to reach your fingertips. It really leaves you with a profound question. What other extreme, hidden stories are locked away inside the simple, everyday items we take for granted?